Hi,
Could you introduce yourself?
my name is Oprah Lemorin, and I'm a fifth year student at Concordia University in theater.
So tell me, Oprah, when did you start noticing that the pandemic was starting to affect your mental health?
Weirdly enough, I started noticing the pandemic affecting my mental health like the second confinement around, like when things started getting bad again. So around January 2021. Because the first time, like when it hit March of 2020, I was on a high. Right before it hit, I was on a high. Like I felt like I had my life together. I felt like I was getting back on track with certain things. So I kept some of that energy at the beginning of the pandemic. So then fall happened, went to university, but then when winter hit, yeah, I definitely started feeling the effects of the pandemic on my health.
You said something about getting your life back on track. What do you mean by that?
I mean, I had taken a semester off of university to focus on my mental health because I'm battling with an eating disorder, and I have been for the past, I think, almost 3 years now. So I was at a point in my life where I had taken a semester off of school. I had gotten a job as a tour guide, and I was like planning on putting up my own play. And I was just like, trying to find better ways. Well, not better ways, but like I was trying to find a way to have a better relationship with food. Um, so yeah, that's what was happening at that time before everything closed.
So you were doing better,
Yes, I was doing way better.
and then pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what was the biggest factor in the pandemic to really hit and affect your mental health?
Oh, it's really there's two aspects of the pandemic for me that's really affecting my mental health. First, it would have to be the social aspect, and not even social like I can't see my friends. It's just like social like I can't even be amongst other people in certain places. And it's like why like we went from like I was talking about this with a friend. We went from like going to packed music festivals to like we need to be five in the grocery store in the corner of the fucking street, you know? Oh, sorry. I swore. But what what I'm trying to say is I miss like what used to be the normal life, just like the hustle and the bustle of the city. Like we live in the city. Like I live in Montreal. Montreal is a busy city, so to see it shut down the way it did, I don't know. And it's not even that I'm a social person like that. Well, actually, I am. I am. I am a social person, but I'm not the most social person. But I'm as social as the next person will say. And I say that like that being said, I still miss social interactions. That's one aspect that bothers me. But the other thing about the pandemic that I'm finding really hard is like I'm an up and at it person. Like I was working. I'm in theater, so I was doing productions. I had rehearsals. I was up and going. I was always up and going. I was never home. Like I was literally my roommates almost never saw me on a normal day because I just had shit going. And now going from like being such an like up and at it person to just having nothing to do, like nothing, it's like you kind of you kind of lose a bit of your sense of purpose, especially when you're someone like me who in my case I'm a theater student, I'm an artist. They told us we were the first people that they were like y'all are not essential. So it was hard. It was hard, and like I found that, but it wasn't hard at first though. That's the thing. It was hard in January. When it started getting hard, that's because okay, time has been ticking. It's been a long time. We've been in this pandemic for almost a year. Because like I said, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was fine. I was working out, I was eating well, I was fine. It's just after my first semester of university in the fall, which is when I did Zoom University, which is a scam. After that, no, I hit a pretty rough patch because it had been so long and like curfews started like being installed, and it's like now you telling me I can't be out of my house after 8 or 9:30. It changed, now it's back to 8, and then it's like there's so many people I still haven't seen. It's my last year of university. This is how I'm saying goodbye over like a desk screen. Everything's closed. I can't even go see a movie if I want to. I can't go to the museum. I can't do anything. It's like if I wanted to live in the country, you know? No, I'm just being bratty with that statement. But honestly, if anything, this pandemic has made me realize just how much of an energetic person I am. And I don't like being stagnant, and I feel very stifled right now. And so I'm excited for it to be over.
You mentioned a rough patch. What was it like being in that rough patch?
Oh my god. I got depression. No, I got the real depression because see, I have an eating disorder, and because of the eating disorder, it's like made it that I also have like depression and anxiety. I've been doing really well with the anxiety, but the depression hit because it was just a bunch of stuff one after the other. It was like, okay, we're still inside, nothing's open, now there's a curfew. Oh, by the way, you have one credit missing, you can't graduate this semester. And like one credit is not a lot, but I was like, oh, I'm so over it. Everything just felt like overwhelming and a lot. And I just started feeling very, very unmotivated, which like shouldn't happen because I get to like study my passion, which is theater, but I just wasn't motivated. Still not. Like D's get degrees. I have a friend who told me that, and that's how I've been working with. So my rough patch is just, yeah, I felt unmotivated. And because I was unmotivated with my school stuff, I ended up being unmotivated with my food too. So my eating disorder started flaring back up, which wasn't cool. And then if my eating disorder is flaring back up, I started having like little moments of anxiety again. It was pretty shitty. It was very, very shitty.
How did it make you feel to go from like doing better with dealing with your eating disorder, mental health, to like not back to square one, but just going back down again?
It's, I mean, that's one of the first few things they tell you when you go to therapy. They're like, hey, it's like getting better is not a straight line up. You're going to fall back down. But this time I was very frustrated because I didn't fall back down because of like I don't know, things happening naturally in my life, if that makes sense. I fell back down because we're in a pandemic and everything's closed and I have to stay inside. You know, I feel like had it not been COVID, the pandemic, I think I would have still been riding on the high of last January where I was starting to get my shit together and I was good. I think I would still be riding on that high to this day had the pandemic not happened. So that's what I felt was unfortunate because I was like, you know what? I know for a fact, had it not been for the pandemic, I wouldn't have gone that depression.
Do you hold some kind of resentment?
No. I mean, at the end of the day, like we can point fingers, we can do so many things. We can like rah rah, we can riot, we can be mad. But we are all going through this pandemic, okay? The politicians are too. The fucking government is going on through this pandemic, and like to me getting mad at people is like not that it's useless, but it's like okay, I can be mad, but like what is it going to do? I'm still inside. It's unproductive, I find. So if anything, I'm tired. It's not a feeling of resentment. It's just a feeling of like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm over it. Open shit back up. Let me catch it. Let me not catch it. But apparently there's a new strain that's killing people my age. But fuck. Because I've been saying this since the beginning of this pandemic. There's going to come a point for everybody naturally where you're like, okay, it's either I keep living my life like this inside, cooped up, and I just die like this, or I die living my life catching COVID. And a lot of people are starting to be like, yeah, I'd rather fucking live my life and catch COVID than have the world be shut down like this.
So as the pandemic wears on, what are some of the ways that you're gonna be coping with your mental health? Like,
How will I be coping on my mental health? Well, I've been shopping. No, but on a serious note, I've been trying to be more active. I've been trying to go outside more, wake up more early. I've been trying to like just hold on to little moments. So whether it's with friends, whether it's with like myself or whatever. So I've just like I know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There has to be. So I'm keeping that hope. And that's kind of driving me forward.
so you're optimistic.
There's a saying that I love very much, which is it's better to laugh than cry. I leave you with that.
Thank you.